what's going on, everybody? Dale Valor here with another MVD exclusive video. So here's the deal, man. Check this out. So look, there's been so many guys that I have talked to. They're so concerned about their ex, the girl that they broke up with, that broke up with them, whatever the case might be, where they constantly feel the need to check up on them, whether it's, whether the ex knows about it or not. Sometimes you got guys that are like, going through and creeping on all their social medias and all that kind of thing just to see what they're up to, and they compare themselves to the guy that their ex is currently dating, and blah, blah, so on and so forth. You get the deal. All you're doing by doing that is dragging your emotions just through the mud, man, for no reason at all. You know what I'm saying? So look, I think it's a bad idea to constantly try to follow up and see what your ex is up to and all that kind of thing, just being overly curious about their life when you have nothing to do with their life anymore, okay? So I have a few thoughts on how to break that cycle, how to get over that, and we're gonna hop into that right now. Let's go. Number one, accept it. Man, look, it could have been 5 years ago. It could have been 5 minutes ago, okay? But the thing is, if you broke up with your ex, she dumped you, you dumped her for whatever reason, things weren't coming together, and you weren't compatible for whatever reason, okay? Maybe they're a great person, maybe they're a terrible person, maybe you're a great person, maybe you're a terrible person. Whatever the case is, look, you're not together anymore, okay? Now, yeah, I get it. If it's fresh, if it's new, you might have a little bit of heartache going on. And I understand that. I totally get it. We've all been there, okay? But at the end of the day, logically at least, you need to accept that it is over. Don't try to follow up with them. Don't try to get in touch with them. See how they're doing. Hey, let's still be friends and so on and so forth. Man, no, don't do any of that, okay? Once it's over, it's over. That person is no longer a part of your life. Obviously, there's exceptions, right? You have a kid together. That person's going to be in your life for till that kid's 18 at least, okay? There might be some other kinds of exceptions. Maybe you own a house together. Maybe you share a pet. I don't know. But the thing is, by and large, for the most part, these things aren't an issue. So once it's over, accept that it's over. Don't go begging to try to get back with her if that's what you want. Don't do drunk texts, you know what I mean, at 2 in the morning talking about how much you miss her. None of that stuff, man. It is over. It's a wrap. There's a reason why it's a wrap. It's not coming together for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It just is, okay? So accept it and start moving on a little bit, especially if it's been a long time. Look, if you broke up with some girl and it was, years ago and you're still dealing with it, like, man, I get it. Things can be hurtful. Maybe she cheated on you, maybe whatever, and it's impacted your life in some certain way and maybe even caused an insecurity or two, okay? But look, man, it's over. It's done and over with. It doesn't reflect on you necessarily as a person. It doesn't mean that that's who you are. Even if you're the one that messed up and caused the breakup, look, man, accept your responsibility for that. But at the end of the day, if you're not that type of person and you made a mistake, just own up to it and just keep it moving. There's no sense in reflecting on things, what could have been. Well, what could have been isn't what is. What is the fact that you're not together. You should be moving on with your own life, much like she probably has, okay? So that's the deal, all right? We're going to get into number 2. Let's go. Number 2, blocker, all right? What do I mean by that? I mean every which way possible. Social medias. Blocker. And it's not out of spite. It's not out of oh, well, screw her, she did X, Y, and Z, didn't appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. I'll teach her a lesson by blocking her. That's not what I'm driving at. What I'm driving at is it's going to take the temptation off of you to try to re-engage. okay? You're not going to be seeing her, the happy, smiley face with a new guy at the party. You know what I mean? With all the friends around. You're not going to see that on Instagram. You're not going to see that on Facebook, whatever, Snapchat, whatever it is that you roll with. You're not going to see it. It's not going to, trigger you, spark emotions in you that don't need to be there. You're not going to be seeing it. You're not going to be tempted to reach out to her because there's extra steps. So it makes it a little more difficult. Block her phone number, because she may try to reach out to you. And if she does, if she's just like, hey, just checking in on you, seeing how you've been, what you don't want to have happen is be like, oh, this is a sign that she wants to get back together. And that's something that I've been wanting for the last 2 years. No, that's probably not what it is. She probably wants something from you, a favor, something, and it's just leading you on, okay? Now, okay, maybe she does want to get back together. But there's a reason that you split in the first place, okay? It's probably best to let sleeping dogs lie at this point, okay? So, and plus you should have already been moving on with your life anyway. Your life shouldn't, if this was years ago, your life should be in a totally different place than it was years ago, okay? If it's not, then that's a whole other video, all right? But the thing is, at the end of the day, man, you don't want to have that influence on you. That influence that can, unknowingly to her, she's probably not taking pictures at a party, having fun, thinking, I'll show him. She's probably not thinking that. But even if she is, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see it. And if you don't see it, you're not going to have like this, oh, I remember the time that we went to that place and it was so fun and we had such a good time. Why can't we be together? Ah! You're not going to have any of that. All right? So block her. It's over and done with. No need to keep rehashing old wounds, So, matter of fact, in the comments, what I'd like you to do is, if you've struggled with an ex, maybe you have an on again, off again type of thing, or, just you're dealing with, you're just having a hard time getting over this relationship or whatever the case might be. I'd love to have that conversation in the comments. So drop a comment down there and let's talk about it, all right? Okay, we're going to get number 3. Let's get it. Number 3, stop over-evaluating. Man, guys do this all the time. Listen, I don't know if you ever frequent Reddit. I do from time to time. And some of the things and questions that I see in some of like the dating subreddits or the sex subreddits or whatever, a lot of it is, what could have I done different? What could I have done to have kept this relationship together? Put all the onus on themselves or on you, as an individual. You broke up with your girl or whatever happened, she broke up with you. What could I have done different? How could I have changed? How could I have done something that would have made her see what a great guy I am and still want to be with me? Okay, look, it's one thing to evaluate your previous relationships, which I think that you should do, because maybe you were at fault on some level. Maybe there were, I don't know, man. Maybe you were too insecure. Maybe you didn't have enough passion for yourself. Maybe you were putting her on a pedestal and it was making her uncomfortable. I mean, there's a million different things, and maybe you were at fault, and that's fine to say like, man, I was super needy in that relationship, and moving into the next one, that's one thing that I'm going to work on about myself, is to not be so needy and blowing her up every day and wanting to check her phone to see if she's texting some other guy. That's fine. You should take some responsibility and work on things about yourself that are holding you back. However, when you overanalyze it, over-evaluate it to the point to where it's like you're taking every little scenario, every little conversation that you ever had and evaluating it, looking through this lens of, well, if I'd have said this, then maybe she would have thought this, and then we could have worked through this thing that ultimately she was resentful about me. You know what I mean? Like, look, it's not going to do you any good to do that. All you're doing is driving yourself crazy and probably making yourself insecure at the same time, because you think, okay, moving into this next relationship, I'm going to walk on eggshells. So it's that I don't, rock the boat too much or upset the apple cart or whatever example you want to use. Obviously you don't want to be doing that either, because now you're not communicating. And now that's a whole separate issue, right? Figure out some of the things that maybe you could have done different on a larger scale. But don't nitpick every little thing and try to skew it and look at it through some prism of how everything you did, you were at fault. Or conversely, everything that she did, that she was at fault. You know, because look, it's a two-way street, man. She probably did some stuff. You probably did some stuff. It didn't work out. Fine. It's over. If there's some things about yourself that you need to change, okay, cool. But to nitpick every little thing, man, that's only going to serve to drive you crazy. You know, so don't do that. All right, we're going to hop into number 4. Let's go. Hey, listen, guys, wanted to take this quick time out just to remind you. Look, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. We don't want you to miss out on any of the great content, the information that we're putting out there that can be beneficial for you today. Also, share it with somebody that you know needs to see this information. And in addition, man, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. We always like you to comment, all that kind of thing. You know the deal. And in addition to all of that, make sure that you join us September 25th for our live Zoom event. We do one on the last Saturday of every month. It's always a great time. We always go super deep on a topic. And this month, what we're going to be talking about is sexual mastery. All right, how to really get down. You know what I'm saying? So here's the deal. Register for the event and just show up. It's 100% free. You got nothing to lose. It's a great time. Bring some questions with you. We always do a great Q&A session. So look, I'll see you there. Number 4, get back out there. Look, dude, you know, are you just going to sit and wallow in self-loathing about because her relationship didn't work out? Man, you do realize that more relationships don't work out than do, okay? I mean, if you end up getting married to some girl, how many relationships before that girl that you got married to didn't work out? Maybe you had 15 girlfriends. Maybe you had 100 girlfriends. Maybe you had 3 girlfriends. Maybe you only had 2. Either way, more didn't work out than did, right? I mean, and that holds true of everybody, man. So to sit there and hang on to that and use that almost as a security blanket to give you an excuse to never take any action because, you know, you haven't gotten over your ex. You know, all you're doing is stunting your own growth. You're stunting your ability to get out and have experiences and have fun with people and to get to know people and find common interests. All the things in life, man, that give life, you know, texture and make it fun. You're robbing yourself of that. And it's ultimately your own fault if you're doing it. Get back out there, okay? Shake the rust off, man. Just get back out there and start making some things happen for yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to jump into a relationship. It doesn't even mean that you have to even date. You know, you could just get out there and start making some friends. You could get out there and start going to events and things that you like to do and meet new people. You know, and hey, if something pops off from that, then great. But that's never going to happen if you're just sitting up worrying about what your ex is up to. You know, let me go check on her. Let me go see what her life looks like. Oh, she's having so much fun without me. I guess I wasn't that important after all. You know, come on, man. You know, she's out living her life. You need to do the same. And it's not even a thing of comparison or, you know, revenge or anything like that. It's the sheer fact that you are holding yourself back. That's it. End of story. So listen, we did a whole series on what to do after a breakup, all right? And so if you want to go really deep on what that looks like, what I'm urging you to do is go check out the first video in that series. We're going to link it up. Go there and watch the whole series, man. It's going to give you so many perspectives on being able to get over a relationship, all that good stuff, man. So go check that out, and I will see you there.